G'day, ZiggyD here, and welcome to the first of a series of Forsaken Masters guides designed to give you guys some ideas on how to play the new content with the expansion pack. In this video, I want to share with you guys how to level the Masters, how to gain Favour and reputation, and why you would want to do so. So, let's first talk about the actual things you get from leveling your Masters. Well, the first major thing is at level 3 you can actually claim your first hideout. So getting, for example, Tora to level 3 allows you to visit Tora's hideout location, which is this spunky place just here, and then to be able to claim it for yourself. And this is an important first step because it allows you to later get crafting benches and to invite other Masters to your hideout and to be able to start unlocking the daily quests. And then in addition to that, each level that you gain with the Masters gives you additional options to purchase from the Masters. So if you're going to purchase items here, you'll see how they have a few different items available. Some of these items contain the Master prefix or an item affix that can only roll from those things. There's some very interesting and build enabling affixes that can come from there. You can also get some interesting things like, for example, here's a chain for 1 chaos. Hell yeah, I'll buy that. That's an awesome bargain. This is worth like way more than that. I also earlier found a 9% quality puncture from one of these stores as well, so you can find some pretty good deals in these, and more things becomes available as they level up, and then these refresh daily as well, just as a little side note. You can also purchase additional decorations, and leveling up and gaining favor with your Masters by doing their quests allows you to purchase those rad decorations. You can see I have some fishing things and some trees and some palisade walls and some logs and debris and stuff like that, and you can start beautifying and customizing your hideout to your liking. And there's a lot of different customization you can do, so that's kind of like an extra little mini game that you sort of unlock by doing these missions. And then the final thing, and probably one of the most impactful things, is the actual Master Crafting benches. Now, each of the Master Crafting benches, as soon as you bring them into your hideout, you will gain a quest reward essentially, which you will be able to, which will spawn in here. Now, as a little side note, you can bring each of the Masters into your hideout, place their crafting bench, and then dismiss them and take your regular Masters that you want to do daily quests for. So for example, I have Tora and Varici, but I brought in Haku the Armor Master, and now I have the Armorer's Workbench, and same as the Blessing Font, and I'll slowly collect all of those as well whenever I want to bring in those other Masters and unlock their workbenches. So you'll be able to place that just here. And then leveling them up gives more options available in their actual crafting bench. So you can see some of these are level 15, these are the first ones that are available, but later on higher tiers of affixes and more variations of affixes will become available, and these are very, very powerful sorts of crafting things here. I'll give you guys some examples of what I've used so far. For example, I really needed some more fire resist. I put some fire resist on this ring, and that was very helpful. I think I also added, flat physical damage to this bow just here, which made me a nice beginning end game bow. So there's a lot you can do with this crafting, and that's why it's very beneficial to actually level up these Masters. So now let's actually talk about leveling up your Masters. You'll see this reputation bar just here, and it has your current reputation, the reputation for the next level, and then the total levels. Each Master can go up to level 8, and I've already explained all the benefits for doing that. Now, the actual reputation that you get, or their like level scaling effect, depends on their level. So if you go into lower difficulty content and your Master is level 4, if you go back and farm in normal, and you say if I encounter Tora in normal and do one of her quests, I'll get very little to no reputation because of that. Now this is based on the Master's level as far as I can tell. So generally you can go and do lower level content and level them up those first few levels, but eventually you're going to have to move up into higher difficulties to continue leveling your Masters. So for now, I just continue farming in Merciless. Basically, whenever I encounter them in Merciless, that's when I actually do their missions. Now, you'll also get these daily missions. For whatever Master you have in your encampment, in your hideaway, you have the option of doing 1 daily mission, 1 each day, and this gives increased reputation. So I think it's like 2.5 times the amount of reputation you normally get. And actually going into this daily mission will show you kind of the level scaling system in effect. So let's actually give this a go just here. She'll spawn a portal, we can go into that portal, and it'll start this mission. Now, if I press tab just here and open up this, you'll see this is a level 34 zone. Basically, her level 3 status currently means that level 34 is appropriate level content for her. So if I were to go back into Crawl and find Tora, I would still get some XP from doing her missions, and the daily missions will be scaled to their level essentially. So be careful with that. It's often not an issue because they'll be lower level than you actually are. Like I'm level 64, so this is going to be very easy, obviously. But if your master is a higher level, for example, and you're on a lower level character and you do a daily mission, make sure it's not like a higher level than you or something. I haven't seen that in effect yet, but I imagine that could be a bit of a problem. So I'll go ahead and very quickly do this daily mission, and then we'll move on to the next tip. That was an extremely easy mission. And there we go, almost level 4. Awesome stuff. Now, the final tip I'll have for you guys is to how to actually intentionally farm these masters. Obviously, daily missions give you a little bit of a boost, but you can only do them once per day, and you may want to level them way more than that. Now, these guys, all of the masters spawn randomly in the world. The master cartographer only spawns in endgame maps, but all of the rest of them are random. Now, masters can't spawn in the first zone in each sack, so City of San, the Monkey Forest, and Twilight Strand, those are all out. All those options out. As a side note, corrupted zones can't spawn in those zones either now. So, given this situation, the best location that I found so far was actually showed to me by Pox, and he was farming Tidal Island. Now, basically, Tidal Island is a big loop, so you just run around in a circle. You come in one way, you run it all the way around, and you clear that content, and then you head back out and refresh it from the doorway. It's a very easy, fast run. The zone itself in Merciless is quite a high level, so it will extend to you most of the way through progressing and leveling up your masters until you want to just sort of farm them in maps, for example. But because this is just a very simple loop, it's almost a bit like Ledge. You basically can't miss the masters. If you're doing docks, you have to go down each little run, or if you're doing a much larger zone, there's a chance you'll actually miss the masters. This way you can't miss them. And the masters seem to spawn about roughly 1 every 5 runs or so. So it's a decently paced sort of way of doing it, and you can essentially do this in normal a bit. If you want to get those first couple levels and unlock your hideout early on, you can do it in Cruel then when their levels are still appropriate, and then you can do it in Merciless. I haven't been able to test it beyond like level 6, but I imagine it extends all the way up to the higher levels of masters, and maybe you have to do the final levels in maps. But as a little side note, this zone is also level 58, so Rares and Hail Rake can drop recipe items for the Chaos Vendor recipe, so a full set of Rares, you can vendor those for Chaos Orbs. And the only other thing to mention is watch out for Hail Rake, because if he spawns, he's pretty dangerous by default. He hits very hard now, and his Glacial Cascade is quite dangerous, especially in Merciless difficulty, so do watch that if you're playing hardcore. Especially if you happen to pull a hasted rare to him. He gets very, very dangerous when he's under the effect of the haste affix, so watch out for that. But other than that, it's a pretty fast, easy run, and I've been able to, smash out a few quick levels on each of the masters doing that. So I highly suggest that until some sort of better farming method shows up. Anyway, hopefully you guys found this helpful. That's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.